the escalating trade tensions between the United States and its North American neighbors, Canada and Mexico, have reached a critical juncture following President Donald Trump's announcement of impending tariffs. The declaration, issued on Thursday, sparked immediate reactions from Ottawa and Mexico City, both of which have formulated retaliatory tariff plans, significantly escalating the risk of a damaging trade war. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau pledged a forceful but reasonable response to any U.S. tariffs, underscoring Canada's resolve while attempting to de-escalate the situation. Trump's justification for the tariffs centered on two key issues: illegal immigration and the flow of fentanyl into the United States. Trump's assertion regarding the influx of people into the U.S., framed as a primary reason for the tariffs, has been met with considerable scrutiny. The specifics of this claim remain largely undefined, lacking the granular detail needed to fully assess its validity. Similarly, the connection between these alleged immigration issues and the imposition of tariffs on goods remains tenuous at best, raising concerns about the economic rationale behind the president's decision. The imposition of tariffs, a protectionist measure designed to shield domestic industries, often results in reciprocal retaliatory measures from affected countries, thereby initiating a cycle of escalating trade restrictions that can severely disrupt global markets and economic stability. The targeting of both Canada and Mexico simultaneously underscores the breadth of Trump's trade policy objectives. However, the justification for tariffs against Canada, specifically concerning fentanyl trafficking, has been widely questioned by experts. A 2020 report by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, D, notably omitted Canada from its analysis of fentanyl trafficking routes into the U.S., highlighting the relatively insignificant role Canada plays in this particular issue. This omission casts doubt on the validity of using fentanyl trafficking as a primary justification for imposing tariffs on Canadian goods. Such a disparity between the stated reason and the verifiable data raises concerns about the underlying motivations driving the president's decision. Mexico, too, faces the prospect of U.S. tariffs, prompting the Mexican government to proactively signal its willingness to enhance efforts in combating both illegal immigration. This proactive stance, demonstrated by a record-breaking fentanyl seizure shortly after Trump's threats, showcases Mexico's commitment to addressing the issues raised by the U.S. administration. However, this commitment is intertwined with a simultaneous effort to mitigate the potential fallout from a full-blown trade war. The Mexican government, like its Canadian counterpart, is attempting to navigate a delicate balancing act, addressing U.S. concerns while simultaneously safeguarding its own economic interests. The implications of a trade war extend far beyond the immediate participants, impacting businesses and consumers across the globe. The potential economic repercussions of a full-scale trade war are significant and far-reaching. Businesses within the U.S. and internationally have expressed concerns about the widespread disruption that such a conflict could cause, jeopardizing supply chains, impacting consumer prices, and ultimately hindering economic growth. The uncertainty surrounding the scope and duration of any potential tariffs further exacerbates these concerns, creating an environment of hesitancy and hindering investment and economic planning. The globalized nature of modern economies means that the ripple effects of a trade dispute between major economic powers are felt far beyond the immediate participants, affecting international trade patterns and economic stability on a much broader scale. The contrasting approaches of Canada and Mexico in responding to Trump's threats highlight the diverse strategies employed by nations facing external economic pressure. While both countries are prepared to retaliate, their public pronouncements reveal different approaches to managing the crisis. Canada's emphasis on a forceful but reasonable response suggests a measured approach aimed at de-escalation. Mexico, while also preparing for retaliation, appears to be prioritizing a more conciliatory approach, proactively showcasing its efforts to address U.S. concerns. These divergent strategies reflect the unique political and economic circumstances of each nation and their individual relationships with the United States. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining the trajectory of these trade disputes and the extent to which diplomatic efforts can prevent a full-blown trade war. This situation underscores the complexities and interdependencies inherent in international trade relations and the potential for even minor disagreements to escalate into significant economic conflicts. The looming threat of a trade war serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of international economic partnerships and the potential for political decisions to have widespread and profound economic consequences. The coming days and weeks will be pivotal in determining whether diplomacy can prevail and avert a potentially devastating trade conflict. The international community watches with bated breath, hoping for a resolution that prioritizes cooperation and avoids the crippling effects of a protracted trade war. For further inquiries regarding the specifics of tariffs and their implications, please contact Callum Jones at TheGuardian.com. We will endeavor to address your questions in future reporting on this evolving situation. The potential for economic damage from a trade war is immense, impacting not only the involved nations but also the global economy, disrupting supply chains, and causing widespread uncertainty.